I-526s seem to be approved at random speeds. Some are extremely fast, some are extremely slow. What kind of light can you shed on that?
Remember I said before that adjudicators got to do a certain amount of work in a particular day. All right, now so here I am, and remember what Colin said about, I think it was Colin or it might have been Nima, about the 924s. So you might have, first of all, start with the 924s. You might have a simple project with not a whole lot of investors that gets approved very quickly. That 924 was, set at the exact same time as some other 924 on a much more complicated, questionable project. So what happens is once that 924 is approved and it's been accepted by USCIS as good to go, they will release all those filed I-526s to the adjudicators to begin working on them. So those I-526s will be adjudicated a lot earlier than the one on the project that hasn't been done yet. And then move into an area, let's say both 924s, exemplars, whatever, approved at the same time. Both projects are released to the floor, right? And you still see the odd, aberration. They use an internal process where they can sometimes see other related cases. So let's say you're working on, one of these projects, you're adjudicating cases, and you look and you see the surname in the internal thing, it says Gupta. And then underneath it, you see Gupta. And then underneath it, you see Gupta. And you say to yourself as an adjudicator, if you're an aggressive adjudicator, you say, ooh, I'm going to get all those Guptas. Maybe they're related. Because if they're related, all the source of funds could come from the same place, and I can bang off 4 or 5 of them in one day. So sometimes it has to do with that. Sometimes it may be a law firm. The other thing that happens I've seen there is that some of the cases are hard. So I remember this one time, I pulled up a couple of cases, just ended up on my desk at random. And when I looked in, they have a file check system, so you can see where the physical location of the file is at any given location, at any given time. And when I looked back through the history of the file, I saw that it had been pulled up for adjudication by 2 other adjudicators before me, but nothing had been done. So they were sent back to the file room. The reason? Hard case. And whoever got it was lazy and didn't want to do it. So they just sent it back, and then there I was. Now, the other thing is, they had a big giant room. They had a big giant room in the basement at the IPO building. It's like bigger than this, and it's full of cases. It's full of I-526s, 924s, and 829s. Literally, it is so packed that sometimes they can't open the door, right? So if you're an adjudicator and you say, send me 10 cases, they're supposed to send you the next in line in the projects that you're working on. But if they can't get the door open, the first thing they do is pick up 10 cases to open the door. And guess what? Those are going to be the 10 cases you get, So we're laughing about this, but as Nima pointed out, I think it was Nima pointed out earlier, if you're Indian and you're suffering from retrogression, you don't want your I-526 to be adjudicated 3 months after it's been filed. So
inefficiency is your benefit, I guess.
Yeah, not always. So, the picture I'm trying to paint is not one of incompetence. It's just that sometimes what appears random to you and to us, it's random because it is random, and there's really no explanation for it.
Actually, I would always say if you've ever been to a USCIS mailroom, you will never find malice with USCIS again. It's overwhelmed, especially when it floods.
Well, we can get even further into the weeds. Actually, the people that handle the files, right, that put them together, the people that file them, the people that maintain the big giant room, the people who deliver the files to the desks of the adjudicators don't work for the United States government. It's a contractor. And I would be hard-pressed to identify anybody that had control over those people. I didn't know who their bosses were. There was very little redress. There was a committee that had interface with the people who ran those contracts. But they were really absent. They weren't on site, and there was no accountability. So it's very hard for the government employee at USCIS to tell the contractor whose boss got the job because he or she gave the appropriate contribution to XYZ political candidate. It's very difficult for them to say, hey, you're giving me the wrong cases. You got to go bring these back and bring me some more. They don't do it.